So I did a thing. I'm doing a thing. I'm actually going to build a tiny house. Hey everybody, Will Mosby here, back with yet another video, and in this video I'm going to cover day one of my tiny house build. So let's go. Alright, so welcome to day one of my tiny house project, my tiny house build. Yes, I'm going to be building a tiny house. I actually kind of just changed my career path and sold everything and decided to start building tiny homes. That may sound crazy to a lot of you, but that's exactly what I'm going to do. And so over the next several weeks, however long it's going to take me, my guess it's going to take me 6 months to do this. That's my estimation. Hopefully I'll get done sooner than that, but I'm going to document every step of the way. Hopefully with me going through this project, not only am I going to learn a lot during this, but you're going to learn a lot as well, and hopefully it will answer a lot of some of these questions that I still have with building a tiny house. But we're going to cover every step of it. But step one is I am obviously behind me. You can tell I am in a hotel room because I just drove 8 hours and 15 minutes. Let's call it 9 because really that's what it was. I started at 7 this morning in Charlotte, drove all the way up here to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I'm just like south of Ephrata because that's where I have to go, and there was nothing really to have a hotel in Ephrata. The next closest town here was Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and it snowed on the way, it rained on the way. It was terrible driving weather, but the good news is terrible weather back home as well, so I couldn't be working outside building a tiny house anyway. So why not drive 9 hours over here to pick up my trailer? And that's what this video is really about, is about the trailer and how I kind of arrived at purchasing this trailer, who I ended up going with, what were some of my criteria. And then tomorrow, so I'm actually spending the night tonight in the hotel, and tomorrow I'm going to go pick up the trailer because the last thing I wanted to do was get here. Yes, they're still open right now, but get here and go get the trailer and then stay the night in the hotel with the trailer out there in the parking lot of the hotel. That'd be a terrible idea because who knows what kind of numbskull is going to come by and try to take my trailer, even if I did have a lock on it. Anyway, better idea is to just stay the night, get rested for tomorrow's drive back to Charlotte, and go get the trailer, hook it all up and take it back. Part of this video tomorrow, hopefully those guys will join me on this video and kind of give us a rundown of this trailer and give us all the specs about it, and we can have somebody do that. Otherwise, if they don't want to do that on camera, then guess what? You're going to get me. Reasons I ended up going with this manufacturer, and I'll just go ahead and tell you who it is. I'm not affiliated with them whatsoever. I checked out everybody. I felt like I checked out everybody, and even custom trailer builders, which there aren't a lot, come to find out, in my area. But I ended up going with Tiny House Basics, and there were a bunch of criteria that had to be met for me to end up going with you. It wasn't just price. Yes, they had a good price on their trailer, but there's a whole lot more that goes to my decision making of coming down to picking Tiny House Basics as my trailer manufacturer. Yes, price. They had a good price. I'm not going to list the price or even tell you what the price is. If you want to, you can go to their website and you can get a quote for your trailer and they can quote it out. So my trailer is going to be 28 feet long, 8.5 feet wide, with drop axles. So there's 3 axles on them, brakes and all that stuff. We'll go over all the details to the trailer tomorrow when I go and pick it up. Let's just go over the reasons why. So price, yes. Were there other manufacturers that had a lower price? Just by a little bit. And let me tell you, back, a year ago, just a year ago, looking at trailers, I was looking at trailers then to see what the cost was. And these things were sometimes around $5,000 to $6,000 you could find a decent trailer. They have really, really bumped up in price right now. Watch out if you're out there looking for a trailer. Next was location or delivery. Delivery right now is through the roof. Everybody. So if they were going to deliver one to me or coordinate something like that, it is very expensive to have something that large brought to you and set up on your property, even if I was going to like meet them halfway. Very, very difficult and very expensive. A lot of the manufacturers, come to find out, are West Coast. I'm East Coast. That doesn't make it very convenient. That was one of the things that I found out with Tiny House Basics. They had a couple of different locations, I think 4 different locations across the US, if I got it right. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Tiny House Basics. There's 4 manufacturing facilities. One second, that little air conditioner's coming on. But they have 4 manufacturing facilities across the US. And the closest one to me is right here in Pennsylvania, about 17 miles away from this hotel. So, 8 hours away wasn't too bad. Again, delivery cost, delivery fee, that was going to be extremely expensive. Having a convenient location for me to be able to just go and pick the darn thing up and drive back, and that kind of put me in the driver's seat, which I'm a control freak. So I kind of liked that idea. And so it just worked out for me. So that's 1 and 2, price and location. Those were really my top 2. And then there was customization of the trailer itself. I could get really what I wanted. There are a few things that I wanted, and I'll talk about those more tomorrow, but I definitely wanted a 8.5 foot wide trailer. I wanted 28 feet long. I wanted the ability to drop axle. I wanted the ability to have a bump out on the front or the rear, basically the front, to house maybe like a utility shed or the mini split. So that was a big deal to me. An extended tongue, that was a big deal to me. So this thing comes with a 5 foot tongue, 22-inch working deck, because that's going to save some headroom, because we're limited by 13 feet 6 inches total by Department of Transportation. I can't exceed that. So having that trailer drop down an additional 4 inches is that's gonna show up in headspace in the loft area. That's a big deal. Next was lead times. Lead times on a lot of these manufacturers was way out there. Like 20 weeks, 16 weeks, 20 weeks. Lead times for Tiny House Basics was 9 weeks, and they exceeded that. So, and I don't mean exceeded as in more. I meant they beat that number. They called me a couple weeks early and said, hey, your trailer's done. You can come and get it. I ordered the trailer at the beginning of the new year of 2022, in January 2022, and here we are about 8-9 weeks later. They had a little bit of a difficulty with some wiring and yeah, I think some labor issues were there as well. Parts were all there. They didn't have any trouble there, they said, but just some labor, some help putting these things together did slow them up just a little bit, but they still beat the 9-week turnaround time, which is great. So lead times was up there. I said customization, and then last was customer service. Let me tell you, I dealt only with Joshua over there. He and his wife owned the company. He was super, super helpful, super responsive. And look, let's be honest. I know that I was a pain in the ass because I had a bazillion questions. This is my first time doing this, so I had a lot of questions. They might have, just been routine for him, but this was my first time, and he treated me like a VIP. I really got to hand it to him. So, hats off to Joshua and that team over there. I wish I was going to meet them tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe they're going to surprise me and meet me. But somebody over there is going to meet me and let me in and hook up. But their communication and customer service was top notch, and I can't say enough good things about them. Again, not affiliated with them. Just letting you know that anytime that I sent an email or called or texted something like that, very quickly to respond, even if he was 4 hours behind on my time zone. Because I'm East Coast, they're out in the Pacific Coast, out in California, and they were still able to respond to me fairly quickly, okay? So I love the communication and can't say enough good things about them. But anyway. All right, so sorry it took so long to get all through that, but now gonna get some dinner, get some rest, watch a little Netflix or something like that, and hit the hay, get some good sleep, maybe have a beer or two, and maybe a hot tub. Yes, there's a hot tub here. I'm gonna need that because of a long drive, and I got a long drive tomorrow. But we'll go tomorrow. We're gonna go catch up with the trailer, get that thing hooked up and inspected, and show you that tomorrow. Okay, here we go. And just like that, it's the next day. I'm in the truck right now, headed over to the manufacturing facility to pick up the trailer, inspect it, all that fun stuff. As you can tell in the windows, it's pretty foggy this morning, quite chilly, about 28 degrees here in Ephrata, I don't know how you say it. I think that's right. Ephrata, Pennsylvania. But yeah, that's where we're heading. Little short drive. Be there in just a minute. Grab this trailer and start heading back to Charlotte. All right, there it is. We're all hooked up. So let's just kind of quickly go over the trailer. This is 28 feet long, 8.5 feet wide. Cross members at 16 inches on center. And yes, we've got threaded rods at specific locations based off of my design already. Enclosed wheel wells, brakes on all 3 axles, drop axle. We're at a 22-inch deck height. Everything's working. Yeah, it's quite foggy out here. I'm literally in the middle of Amish country out here, and these guys built a really nice trailer. The only thing that I'm missing that I thought I put on the order, maybe not, I don't know. Anyway, was the belly pan flashing that goes underneath all this. So that means I'm going to have to do it, which sucks, but we'll get it done. And then we got the little 2-foot bump out on the front for our utility shed. There you go. Let's get on the road. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you got some good tips on what to consider when purchasing a tiny house trailer. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, I would love your feedback and questions you might have, and I'll see you in the next video.